Hey guys, Rick here. You know me as BigGunner81. Thanks for stopping by the channel and checking out the video today. Hope you're all doing well. Before we begin, as always, this firearm has been safety checked. There's no magazine in the magwell, and there's no cartridges inside the chamber. So let's check out the video. Hey guys, so you may recognize this rifle already. It's my R-Guns rifle that I run in most of my competitions and practical rifle and matches and things like that. It's my R-Guns rifle, but it looks a little different than you may remember it from my other videos, and that's mainly because of this new forend here. It's a free-floating forend or handguard, whatever you want to call it. Some people might even call it a barrel shroud. I don't know. I've heard different terminology used for these things sometimes, but I'm going to go with free-floating forend for now. So this one is made by Guntec USA. It's a U.S. Company, so this is made in the U.S. It's a lightweight Keymod forend that actually is about 15 inches long. And Keymod, in case you guys haven't seen this, is basically these little slots here with the rounded ends. I don't know how to really describe it. It kind of looks like a keyhole, and that's probably why it's called a Keymod. It's a pretty neat little feature. But you can add all types of Keymod type accessories. Like, for example, it didn't come with this rail. This is a Bravo Company manufacturing polymer rail section. I just added this on because, one, it's lightweight. That's why I picked the polymer. But two, I wanted to be able to mount my light or possibly even a camera if I want to on my rifle. So that's why I grabbed that and put that on there. But it did not come with it. Again, this is lightweight. It is pretty impressive as far as how long it is and how little it weighs for its length. It actually makes this rifle feel much better than it did previously as far as the balancing is concerned, I guess you could say. It's very interesting. So one thing you will need to have when you use this rail or this free floating forend here is a low profile gas block. You might be able to kind of see it through the opening. It's kind of hard to see. You can also see the gas tube, by the way, which is kind of, I don't know if you guys can even see it, but it's kind of poking through. You can kind of see the little openings there. It's kind of neat to have that exposed, but you do need a low profile gas block to fit this over. They're not real expensive. You can find them for around 20, 30 bucks maybe anywhere. But one word of advice when you're looking for that low profile gas block, I like to stick with the steel ones, not the aluminum, because different metals expand and contract at different rates. And I don't know, as far as aluminum is concerned, how well that's going to stay put in place because of the expansion and contraction and all that. So I'd like to go with steel so that at least, yeah, and there's different variances of quality and grades of steel and all that kind of stuff, but I would tend to think that you have the least amount of difference in expansion and contraction there with the most similar, material as you can get. So that's just my thought on the gas block. So one other thing too is, again, I didn't get to show you guys how to install this. I would have, but when I was installing it, I was trying to get ready for 3-gun, and I didn't really have much time to mess with the filming portion, so I kind of skipped that. Sorry, guys. But I'm sure you could find another video out there somewhere that will show you how to install one of these free-floating forends. One thing I wanted to say though is the barrel nut, which is kind of a key component here. It comes with it, of course. The barrel nut that they supply actually has a hex built into it, so you will most likely need an armorer's wrench to take off your old one, but this new one you more or less need like an adjustable wrench, or at least a wrench that's the correct size for the hex. I don't remember what the size was off the top of my head now, but that was kind of a cool feature. It made it a little bit easier to grab onto than using the armorer's wrench, where you have to either put little pins in the holes or grip onto the outside of the delta ring there or whatever with the barrel nut. That can be sometimes a little bit of a hassle to hold in place and everything. So the hex feature on the barrel nut's kind of cool, and it is much smaller in diameter so that you can slip this rail over it, which basically, once you install the barrel nut, you just slide this forend over it, and then there's 6 screws here, basically Torx head bolts, I guess, screws, whatever you want to call them, 2 on the bottom, 2 on each side. And that's what secures it on there. Of course, Loctite it. That's my recommendation with any of these little pieces that you're going to put on a firearm that's going to have some recoil. But yeah, Guntec USA. I like this rail. One little drawback to it is the edges. So if you run your hand across the rail like this, you're gonna kind of shave away at your skin maybe a little bit because the edges are kind of sharp. You know, that's one little drawback to it. Other than that, it works good. Of course, you can get at least not so much maybe for the slots here, but for the Keymod portion, there are little rubber inserts you can get that you can put in there that kind of cover up the holes. So if you're gonna put your hand over it, you know, whatever area you're gonna put your hand on, you can cover those up to at least help with those edges. So there's some options out there to help with that. I think even Noveski makes a piece that has like a hand stop on it or something. I forget what they call it, but yeah, I mean that's just a little minor thing. It's not a real big deal. It's not nearly as bad as having a quad rail where your hands are rubbing against these, you know, the Picatinny or Weaver, whatever you want to call it, rail. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Check out Guntec USA. Very good price point. I may have said it, I don't remember. This one ran somewhere around $100, which is not bad. I think it was a little bit under 100 if I remember correctly. You can shop around for a good price on it, but yeah, made in the U.S. So that's tough to find with a good price point. Those two things usually don't go together that often. That is pretty much it. Check them out, Guntec USA. Until next time, guys, go out and have some fun shooting.